Hi everyone, how you doing? I'm here to do my next video in my series of videos if you've been watching about my hip replacement journey. I haven't done one in a while, so I'm really sorry. Recovery's been up and down really, but I just haven't felt that I was ready yet to do a video, but now I do feel ready. I know what I'm going to talk about, and hopefully this one it's quite a big one for me to talk about this subject, so I do hope that it comes across right, and yeah, if I miss anything feel free to. So I'm now 5 weeks post-op, 5.5 really. I'm almost at 6, so 6 weeks was meant to be when I was allowed to come off my sticks. I've actually been off my sticks quite a lot. It's been really good. I wouldn't say I'm quite ready for all the time, but I've been doing some walks, going to the shops and stuff like that, walking about my house without them. I'm getting stronger every single day. It means that I'm also not getting any less tired because I'm kind of pushing my body a bit, but that's okay because I would rather be making progress. I would say that this recovery physically has been a lot easier and a lot better than the last time. I think a bit of experience helped, getting up quicker helped originally, and I also think just, yeah, understanding my body and my limits and not being afraid to do things, but also knowing how I can do it while still being careful has been like a really good combination for me. So with all that together, it has helped to speed along the process quite a bit. A little bit I ignoring the rules slightly has helped. So yeah, physically I'm feeling good. I'm not really in direct hip pain as much, I wouldn't say. It's more muscular running down my thighs, my muscles feel quite tired, my back feels a bit sore. But other than that, yeah, I'm very, very exhausted. I'm so tired all the time. That's one thing I'd say is still been quite a problem. I'm not sleeping as much. I already have pre-existing sleeping problems anyway, so I'm not a great sleeper. But I've found that now I'm struggling a little bit to sleep, but I'm tired all the time. So although I'm probably still getting a decent amount of sleep for a normal person, like I'm sleeping about 7, 8 hours a night most nights, some less, but that's I can tell it's not enough for my body just now. I'm really, really tired. Um, but aside from that, the main thing I wanted to talk to everyone about today was something I mentioned speaking about before, and it's post-operative depression. I mentioned that a lot of people suffer from it, and I did feel that I got it the last time. I wasn't really sure how I'd be this time. My life's in a completely different place in so many different ways this time, so I thought that possibly I would be maybe a little better. I wasn't really sure. I would say quite quickly after I filmed the last video, I was on quite a high when I filmed that video, and I knew I was completely elated, but pretty much not long after that video I started to crash. Um, I've mentioned before in other things, if you've not watched it you might not know, but I do suffer from depression. I suffer from high function depression. No, I got diagnosed with that 2 years ago. I got diagnosed with depression, anxiety and mild OCD. I always knew I had anxiety. I always suspected there was more, but I was never able to get a good diagnosis. So I eventually got sent for the full diagnosis, and that was the conclusion they came to. Since then, I have been at psychotherapy for over a year now, and whilst it is helping me, it's a very long, long process. So I don't feel hugely like I'm well or anything like that. But I haven't had as many bad setbacks and bad bouts of anxiety and depression, luckily. So not long after my last video, I started to feel really down with it, and I knew to expect it maybe a little bit. Post-operative depression can happen to anyone. I've actually tried to do some research on it, and believe it or not, there's not a huge amount. It's not something that people really talk about, and it's really strange because it affects a lot of people. From what I read, it affects around 65% of people post-operation. That's huge. although those numbers say that it could be anything from people who only get it very lightly for a few days, might not even really realise that's what it is, to people who get it prolonged. Um, they say obviously people who suffer ill health are more susceptible to it, especially those that already suffer from mental health issues. Obviously, anything that's going to worsen is going to appear in someone that already has pre-existing problems. Also, for some reason, there's certain operations that it's more prevalent in, of that being like heart and lung and artery operations. It seems to be really high in those people, high in people that have had plastic surgery, and high in people that have had joint replacement surgery, like knee replacement, hip replacement, etc. Now, I don't know why it's particularly those three. I can second guess myself and think, well, maybe it's got to do with thinking about your mortality. I'm not sure. Could be a number of reasons. But for some reason it does say that those are the people that suffer the most. So being that I had a hip replacement puts me into that category, being that I already suffer from depression, anxiety and OCD puts me even further into that kind of category. So yeah, a week or so after my last video, I really knew that it came in full swing. Now, it was really strange because I've got, as I said, I've got high functioning depression, which means that I often can be so depressed, but I'm still going about a lot of my daily activities. I don't know if it's got to do with my anxiety and OCD. It drives me to need to be doing stuff all the time. So I'm always torn between not wanting to get out of my bed and also feeling so agitated about the fact that I'm not doing things. And it's quite horrible. I switch quite a lot as well. I get bouts of like a bit of mania, and that was happening a lot more too. So I was really struggling. I was waking up in the morning, not wanting to get out of bed, feeling so sad. And then 2 days later, I would be on that total high again, like laughing and smiling and giggling and totally like up there somewhere. What I found over the last 5 weeks is the the happy go manic side of me is actually fading, and I'm just feeling pretty sad all the time. Don't know why, all various different reasons. Obviously the operation itself is having a knock-on effect on your body, which can make you feel really depressed and down and low on yourself. You're not able to be active. The other thing I'm finding is I think like having social media is quite difficult. You're watching everyone else get about their life, you're not getting to, and I think things like that can get to you. Things that you would normally get to be able to do, you can't do, and that can become quite frustrating for you. So that's something I've really felt as a person. I'm a performer and a tattooist, so I'm watching my peers do wonderful things and I'm feeling the weight of falling behind. But it does manifest in your head when you feel down, and it's manifesting into bigger for me. Like everything's feeling like a much bigger deal than what it is. Everything's feeling massive, things that aren't probably very big at all. The Scottish Tattoo Convention was this weekend. I've never missed it, and I was feeling awful. I was almost forcing myself to go, and because I was so panicking and paranoid that if I don't do this, it's going to have a bad effect on me. There'll be a knock-on effect. I'll really suffer as a result of it in my career. And my husband sat me down and said, why are you doing this? Why are you pushing yourself this much? Do you really need to be there? And he said to me, do you really think that it will have this bad an impact? Do you not think if you're just being yourself and being online that you'll still attract custom, and I've got my loyal customers. I'm sure that plenty of people will be there when I get back, but there's always that phobia you have of your job when you work for yourself, and yeah, it's a strange thing. I think anyone watching, especially who have created jobs or work for themselves, maybe understand a little more. I'm not sure, but it's a difficult to watch thing, and then that adds on to the way you're feeling. All bogs down on top of you. Like little things feel like big things, like passing comments. You think people are being weird when they're not, and that's something I already suffer from. And my mental illness is paranoia about people disliking me or doing the wrong thing. And when you're stuck at home and you can't be proactive with these things the way you would like to be, like if I feel that someone's not being themselves, or are they being off with me, I would go and see them and speak to them, and it would put my mind at ease. But right now I'm not in a position to do that, and all of these things just get on top of you, you know, and you just feel like, as a person who's really active and really out there and really involved in the world, I'm like on the inside looking out and just feeling a bit hopeless, you know, and so yeah, all of that doesn't help. Um, and I'm sure if any of you have maybe felt this, it might resonate with you. I'm very lucky in the sense that I am on medication. It does help me, it does level me out, but I do feel still like maybe it's not enough right now. But I'm not in a great position for, like, if I take Valium, I'm going to be sleeping more and not good sleep, you know, and just want to heal and recover. So yeah, it's a bit of a vicious cycle. You don't really know the answer. So yeah, all of that on top, it will make sad feelings grow, and feeling hopelessness grow, and feeling helpless, and feeling like you can't get on with your life. Like, all these things are really, really frustrating for people. So I wanted to speak about that, mainly not just for me to explain that this part of your journey is really normal, but to also, hopefully, if someone said, actually, I have been feeling a bit depressed, then they can understand that they're not alone, and that it is common and it's not strange. And also maybe tell your doctor. Speak to your doctor if you're feeling that way after an operation. Uh, Tell them you're feeling anxious. Don't be scared to open up to them. Your doctors are here for these things as well, and they're not going to think you're strange or silly or daft. They'll speak to you and they'll understand. I promise you. I have a great GP, and she's absolutely excellent with me. Cannot value that enough. I do say to people, if you feel like you've went to your GP and it wasn't right for that issue itself, please don't give up. Say to yourself, that wasn't the right doctor for that subject. I personally think that not all GPs are great at handling these things. Not everyone is in this world. It's not that they're not good at their job. It's just, it's a difficult thing to be good at, in my opinion. I don't think there's enough support training for how to deal with these things sometimes. So move on, find another GP, ask for recommendations for people at your practice, and go and speak to the right person for you, because you can't sit feeling like that and not speak to anyone. So yeah, that was all I really wanted to tackle. The reason I really want to tackle it is because it's not spoke about. People don't seem to speak about it enough, and I'm really aware of the fact that maybe a lot of people would feel really, really alone. I'm lucky, I know how to talk to people about my mental health, and I do talk to people about it, but you do still feel isolated, because you can talk to people forever, but if they don't have these problems, then they don't fully understand, and people might think that you're being strange, or I don't know. So just keep talking, open up, reach out to people. You're not alone. Reach out to me if you want to talk about this. Please do. I really don't mind. Having an operation is a scary thing, and the isolation you feel after it can be intimidating, and can be a strange time for you, you know, as a person. And we're faced with our fragile bodies, we don't feel like ourselves, and we're cut off in the world. So yeah, it's not weird or unusual, and you're not alone with it. Yeah, so yeah, that was longer than I meant it to be, so I'm very sorry if I've blabbed on for too long. I hope it reaches out to the right people. If you want to talk, leave a comment. I'm Debbie Deluxe on all social media. Come find me there. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon. I will do an update hopefully when I have fully recovered, so if you've got anything else you want me to talk about, leave a note in the comments and I'll consider it for my next video. Thanks for watching, bye!